the #1 cheat code to success, which no one ever talks about, is doing nothing. Tell me this. What do you gain from doing nothing? You probably think, oh, has to be nothing. No. You gain clarity through doing nothing. And this clarity is what's going to help you achieve massive success. Because there's two things that goes into being successful. One of them is action. The other thing is clarity. Through clarity, you know where you want to go. When you have a vision of the place where you want to go, you can then align all of your current actions with that place. And this is how you become the most efficient. Because we all have limited time on this earth. So we need to make each hour count. And everyone has 24 hours in a day. So how come people end up on top? Is it just because they're lucky? No, it's because they use their time effectively and they work hard. This is why they succeed. And this is the same reason why poor people stay poor. They waste away their time. You think all the rich people in the world, to get rich, they watched Netflix, they ate junk food, they wasted their time partying every night. Do you think that is how they became rich? No, and I don't either. I don't think that's how they became rich. So when you notice the traits of what keeps people poor, when you notice the traits of what makes people rich, then you'll be able to compare them and think, okay, this is why they became rich and this is why they became poor. And now you know how clarity is one half of the puzzle. But how do you actually gain clarity? What is it that actually gives you that direction? Well, firstly, there's what you should do when you're doing nothing. And secondly, there's what you should do with the clarity. When I say do nothing, I don't mean force your brain to do nothing. I mean, have no forces upon your mind. Let your mind drift freely. So your mind is a tool, but most of the time we use it caged up. So when you let your mind wander, this is when it comes up with its most genius ideas. And this is when it filters out all the overstimulation it gets from the world around us, actually processes our thoughts. It actually makes sense of what's what. Because the world around us now is so overstimulated to the point where no one has any clarity. No one has no clue where they're going. All they're trying to do is escape their current life instead of having the clarity of their own life to say, okay, I can change this to be whatever I want. So by do nothing, I mean cut out all of the stimulation around you. Don't listen to any music. Don't talk to anyone. Don't actively try to think of anything. Just sit down, stare at something, and do that. Now, after 5 minutes or 10 minutes or maybe half an hour, maybe even longer, your mind will start to fixate on a certain topic. Your mind will start to go down that route. Now, if this route is beneficial to you, let your mind wander down there. If it's planning the future, if it's thinking of your dream life, if it's solving something that you've been struggling on, let your mind drift down that path. But if it's something which you know is holding you back, if it's thinking about lustful things, if it's thinking about going out, partying, then gently drift your mind away from that topic and bring it back to a point where it is completely free. Now, you might not have that long to do this, but in reality, all you need to see results is just 10 minutes. 10 minutes every day is all you need. I have a simple 4-step meditation I use, which allows me complete clarity. And I'll be honest, is probably the reason I went from homeless to completely free, making obscene amounts of money at 17, all in 1 year. If I had to narrow down into just 3 things that got me there, it was A, of course, God, B, clarity, and C, hard work. And what gave me the clarity? This meditation routine. So if you want it, let me know. I'll probably drop it in my free Telegram, link in bio, but let's get straight back to it. So now you understand how to get clarity. Now you need to understand what you need to do with your clarity. So when you start to notice your mind goes to a certain topic, probably a problem which you've been struggling with, get out a piece of paper and write down this topic. And if you notice your mind keep on coming back to that topic and you start to have questions about it, pull up ChatGPT on your phone, ask it those questions, and then go down that rabbit hole. Because when you go down that rabbit hole with ChatGPT, when you ask it so many questions and you learn from the answers it gives you and ask more questions on top of that, you become knowledgeable in that subject. This is how you solve your problems. Because before, people just, they have a problem, but they wouldn't actually know how to solve it. So they just think about it for ages and ages. But now we have AI on our side. Now you can actually use AI in order to solve your problems. But you need to have clarity over what your problem is. So when you gain this clarity, this is what you do with your clarity. So for example, earlier, I was meditating, I was doing nothing. And then my mind started wandering to a cold email issue. I was thinking, okay, my open rates is amazing, but my reply rates, it's only at 5%. I want it to be more. So I let my mind go down that rabbit hole. And I pulled out ChatGPT. I started asking questions which I was thinking of, such as whether the hi matters. Would hello be better? Would hey be better? Would greetings be better? Does it matter depending on a certain person? What emotion should I be coming with? All these questions, I went down the rabbit hole. And in turn, I became so much more knowledgeable. And you can do this with whatever area you're struggling with in your life, or with whatever area you're interested in. It is going in depth with these topics that will allow you to become knowledgeable on those topics. And when you have the clarity on top of the knowledge, then you can easily act. Now, I'm not saying, the other half of success is going to be easy. By all means, no. But you've already done half of it. Now, all you need to do is put in the hard work. And because you have the clarity from beforehand, the hard work, you're going to know what to do. Make sure you have clarity over your hard work. Make sure you actually know where you're going. Because if you don't know where you're going, well, guess what? You're not going to go anywhere. Let's say you live to 80 years old, and let's say you only have 10 steps per year. You'd want all of your steps to be going towards your end goal. So of course you want to know where your end goal is. You don't want to know, oh, it's somewhere in this area, or I have no clue where it is, because then you're just wasting your steps. And your steps are your actions. Your actions are your time. So don't waste your time. Make sure all of your time is aligned with that goal. And when you start to gain clarity over the world around you, you realize how much of it is fake, how much of it is lies, just because people want to ignore the truth, because they can't actually understand the truth. Why? Because they don't have clarity over that. And if people had a clarity over the world around them, then they'd be able to change their lives. Then they'd understand, what am I doing with my life? And it's so sad to see so many people waste their lives away. And do they actually know why they're wasting their lives away? No, because guess what? They haven't got the clarity on top of that as well. It takes clarity in order to get clarity. So get the ball rolling. When you get the ball rolling, use that momentum. Use that momentum to propel you forward. And yes, I know it's an abstract topic, but it is so, so important. If you want to excel in any area of your life, you need this clarity. Let's say you want to excel with your relationship with God. You need to have clarity over what your relationship is. You need to start to gain clarity over scripture. You need to start to gain clarity over your prayers, over your callings, everything. And the same applies for whatever topic you want. So I hope you see how clarity is one of the most important things in your life. And without it, you're lost. You can't have direction without clarity. And if you don't know where you're going, you're lost. And if you actually want to find your way in this world, if you actually want to achieve fulfillment, if you actually want to do something with your life, focus on clarity. Remove the stimulation around you. All it's doing is clogging your brain. And most of the time, it's with negative stuff. If you look at all the news, what is it? It's all negative. Is it helping you? Not at all. Through this clarity, you'll be able to get rid of everything that is holding you back. And when nothing is holding you back, it is 10 times easier to propel forward. So don't hold yourself back. And I know that you want to do something amazing with your life, and you know you should do something amazing with your life. You've only got one life, you've only got one chance. Don't fuck it up. I'm rooting for you. God bless you, and chase your dreams.